All right. Welcome back to another episode of Nickel and Dime. This is our 2021 season preview, the whole shebang. I'm joined as always by my co-host Shawn Sudler. Shawn, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, bro. Good to be back with you. And this is gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one.
Man. Speaking of fun, we got our buddy, our college roommate back to high school days. Like, we've known this guy for forever. Because we're old fellas, and he has been winning some fantasy football, so we wanted to bring him on.
That's right.
It's Matt Simon, our good buddy, our reigning champ. So as a condition of him winning, he had to come on and tell us how bad we were at fantasy football. So
I wasn't gonna bring that up. I mean, I didn't want to mess with you guys' shine. Like, this is your all's thing. I wasn't gonna come on and trash talk, but you brought it up. So.
Yeah, I mean, we know what we did last year. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
They need me to carry the fantasy portion of the show because these dudes were basically at the bottom of the.
We're going to talk teams. He's going to talk players.
I honestly think, correct me if I'm wrong. I do feel like y'all were literally the bottom two.
I won seventh
of the league.
place.
Y'all were spending too much time on the podcast, not enough time.
That's what it was. That's what it was. I'm not trying to throw out excuses or anything, but your boys had a lot going on last year.
I'm just
a lot going on.
I want the record to show why I did finish the regular season in next to last place. I won the consolation bracket. Okay.
Did you?
Okay. I came up at the end of the year.
So right. Mainly because
people forgot. Yeah.
Your boy mailed it. I just mailed it in. I mailed it in. There's no excuse.
That's fair
for me. No excuse.
That's the worst kind of fantasy football player too. Is the type who's too busy. Like you act like you care about football, and then suddenly fantasy season comes around. You're too busy for fantasy.
I loathe the person that I became in fantasy last year. I loathe that guy, and I was that guy. So I gotta atone this year, man. I gotta atone this year.
Yeah. Just building up the underdog story. You know what I mean? I need to be bad so I can be good.
Y'all just take notes. From my advice, y'all do a lot better this year.
I got my pen. I'm ready to go. So stay tuned. Stick around. We got some fantasy advice from our champ, Mr. Matt Simon. But before we get going into our season preview, we're going to talk playoffs. We're going to talk awards. Got some housekeeping notes. Sony Michel traded to the Rams. Do you think he gets a little bounce back in LA?
I would have to think so, Drew, because you know how high we were on Sony coming out, and he just did not do anything in New England like people thought he was. And that running back room was supposed to be his. So I got to imagine that he gets more of an opportunity, especially with Cam Akers being done for the year.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, from a fantasy perspective, I like that. I like that move for both him and for the team. I think that's a change of scenery for him. And, they're going to need somebody to balance out that offense. I think with Stafford, we'll get to more on him later, I think, because he's someone I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm big on the Rams this year, fantasy and in real life. So,
Same.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm really intrigued by that team, and that move I think is a good pickup for them.
Yeah.
With kind of I guess along for the fantasy perspective, I definitely want to temper expectations, but what round or not to give too much away, but you're not targeting him super high, or are you kind of waiting a little bit on Sony Michel? He might be a little bit of a sleeper.
That's good.
I agree. I would say, do y'all see him as the starting back? If he's the starting back for that team, I'd say he's probably, a mid-round pick, probably once all those top tier running backs are off the board, I'd be kind of eyeing him,
he's got to be, he's got to be the starter.
I don't know. I would think that he's the guy in the backfield there. And if that's the case, that's going to be a high flying offense. We know that, McVay has his offensive minded coach. Right. Obviously, the defense is going to bounce. If they're ahead in games, if they're winning a lot of games this year, which I expect them to be, he's going to be, and he's a physical back too. So, come around like fourth quarter, and they're just pounding the rock, he might break off a couple of long TDs, like, I don't know.
Well, he's still like he still has some competition in the backfield. I don't know what the run share is going to be between him and the running back who's stepping in.
Henderson.
Darrell Henderson. Like, and he's a good back in himself. So I don't think the lion's share is automatically going to go to Sony, but we'll probably talk about it some more in a minute, Drew.
Yeah. Somebody that we're not really going to get a chance to talk about, J.K. Dobbins out for the year, tore that old ACL, the running back's nightmare.
Yeah. It did not look like I feel like that's how ACLs are, man. It never looks.
I've seen people get up and walk. We saw Klay Thompson shoot a free throw on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird injury.
Yeah, it is. But a lot of the consensus that the Ravens are still going to be a team to fear even without J.K. Dobbins. But I got to imagine that it takes a little bit of luster off what they might be able to do.
Gus Bus will be fine. Edwards for MVP.
Yeah. Gus Edwards is the man. I do like Gus Edwards.
Matt, what do you think about Baltimore's situation down their starting running back?
Yeah, that's a shame. I think he was primed for a big year. But they like to run the ball. Obviously, I think they're one of the top running attacks, if not the top running attack in the league the last couple of years. Especially since Jackson came aboard. So they're going to find a way to run the ball. I don't know who is going to be that guy, but I think it'll emerge. Whoever, it's something that probably, take a flyer on whoever you think might be the guy later on.
Yeah, I heard a old familiar name thrown out there in oh God, hold on.
I think
Gurley. There we go. God, I was like Gutley.
Okay.
My brain was like having a stroke. Like Gutley.
Hey,
I think I saw that earlier too. That was.
He's not in the league right now. Like Gurley's not signed to anybody.
He's not signed. His name's been bouncing around a little bit, as has Adrian Peterson's a little bit too. So.
I think all day probably needs just to ride off in the sunset, man. At this point, I mean, here's where careers go to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he went there, so I think it should be over.
Well, it sucks that they only have the one running back because Shawn, continuing story from last week, they might have two quarterbacks because Mr. Tyler.
Let's go, baby.
Tyler Huntley went off again.
Tyler Huntley, that is my man right now.
24 for 33, 285 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he added another rushing touchdown.
4 TDs, bro. In the preseason, like, this man is balling. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Nickel and Dime Twitter account, but it's looking like the Spider-Man meme over there because those two boys are one and the same. Now, I'm not calling that man Lamar Jackson, but I'd be damned if he don't look like a Lamar Jackson clone, man. Let's go. Yeah. Tyler Huntley. Watch the tape. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you really think he's going to see any playing time this season? Because that's a bold prediction.
Hell no, that man ain't seeing no playing time this year. But the thing is, man, is like, I mean, I imagine you saw some highlights. If you watch the tape, it just you know it when you see it, man. And there's something about this kid. He is hitting his passes. He's going where he needs to go with the football. He's making good decisions. Not only that, but he is doing all of this while still rushing the ball and being a dual threat. Now, this as a rookie, it seems like that this offense was tailor-made for a person of his skill set. And that's just good scouting, in my opinion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's trade bait because with the type of dual threat quarterback that Lamar is, there's always the threat of injury. So no, I think he stays on that roster.
I mean, if I'm Tyler Huntley, I'm getting a big old bottle of X-Lax and I'm playing the third quarter for all these games when Lamar got to run to the bathroom.
I mean, he might have to, man. Pants are a little tight, you know?
Yeah. Jets acquire Shaq Lawson for a 6th round pick from the Texans. The Texans paid this man $7 million in March and traded him for a 6th round pick before the season starts.
What a year for that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like $7 million and you get a change of scenery off of the Texans roster. Like, is this not a complete win for him? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, let's see how the Jets play first before we say.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
The Jets.
One's a better defense than the other. That's all I'm saying.
I'll give you
at this
that.
point.
I'll give you that part. Yeah.
It's a fire sale in Houston. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You think they would have gotten a higher pick for him, but I mean, I haven't been following. Has just not been playing well in the preseason.
I mean,
is he off the field problems or what?
Yeah, he hadn't. I mean,
yeah,
it's just he's on his third team for a reason. So I just really think the production hasn't met what he was, the kind of cachet he had coming out, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the Vikings also extend safety Harrison Smith, hit him with the 4-year, $64 million deal.
That's really good for him. I hadn't really I swear Harrison Smith was that dude for a good while, and then he's kind of been under the radar.
He had some injuries. He's been off the field a little bit the last few years.
That's probably what it is.
Just hadn't heard his name a lot
until now.
Matt, if you have watched any of the past episodes, you know that this guy is a mortal enemy of mine now. But I'm pulling for him because he's dealing with a disc issue in his neck. T.Y. Hilton, poor guy could miss a few games, or they said that if he can't figure it out, he might miss the whole season. So.
If he can't figure it out, Drew, that was there.
Yeah,
it's with the neck injury that it's like nerves and
for sure.
If something doesn't come, if feeling don't come back in your hand, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Well, I just figured I didn't know if that was team speak for probably going to cut him.
He's going to retire at halftime.
Right? Yeah. I didn't know if the team was if he can't figure it out. I mean, that is just,
he got to go.
He's kind of right. Yeah, he's kind of been kind of on that bubble. Michael Pittman is a guy who's ascending. He's a fan favorite of the Nickel and Dom show. But they're really looking to elevate his role. So, and now, speaking of that team, which you probably got, I'll let you kick it because you got some more Colts news, I would imagine, right?
Oh, would it be that Mr. Carson Wentz is on the COVID list?
Yeah.
Talk about he was going to come back. He's going to come back week 1, and then.
Bro, that is.
Can we just tell everybody to get vaccinated? Is that appropriate?
Of course. Well, I think we're all in agreement.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get political, but
science.
Get that vax. Hey, I mean,
we are a pro-vaccination podcast. I would say.
Yes.
I mean, listen. We're pro smarts here. Drew, we have talked about this before, man, but what is it with these athletes? And it's big name after big name.
It's gotta be the invincible feeling. It's gotta be. I'm an amazing specimen of a human being. What's gonna touch me?
Yes. And it keeps touching you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's I mean, and I feel like last year it wasn't really big names. I think it was because who caught it last year? Lamar caught it last year. He caught it last year. That was
man's had it twice, right?
Twice.
Yeah.
The only real big marquee name. And now this year, I feel it's player after player. Not only that, but Zach Pascal. We were just talking about Michael Pittman. They're counting on Zach Pascal. He's now on the COVID-19 list and the starting center. So Quentin Nelson is looking like he's about to be back in the fold, but now you're losing another starter, Carson. I mean, you just left a shitty offensive line.
Does anyone have that feeling that Wentz is just going to be in and out all year? Just in a game, out a game, in a game, out 2 games, in a game, out 3?
I mean, I hate to give it away, but your boy and his predictions need Carson to get his stuff together. You know what I'm saying? This is a good team here. And they're rocking the boat a lot. So
you lose a couple games because of a quarterback, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
An 11-6 team doesn't really look like an 11-6 team with that quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple more quarterback things, and then we'll move on. 49ers, Trey Lance has a chip in his finger, so he's going to miss the next week. So he's coming off that pretty good game where they like the dual quarterback system with him and Garoppolo, and now he's going to be sidelined.
Man,
I don't think this was his year, man. I don't know.
No.
Sorry, I didn't. I just he's going to play, but I don't know. I think they're going to ride with Jimmy for the majority of this year,
It's
unless he just
smart thing to
completely
do.
stinks it up.
Is it not?
It
is
is.
it? Look what the Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes. Why is that not the blueprint?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're trying to get back to that blueprint now because that used to be how all the quarterbacks came in. They just sat for a year or however long, and then they got into rushing them. And now people saw Patrick Mahomes' success, and now they're trying to go back to that. But I mean, and I feel like I'm kind of turning it into to you a little bit, Drew, because you love that drama.
The stories. Give me the stories.
Right. So all I'm saying is if he chipped it and he's definitely going to miss week 1, is this not them kind of like, hey, Jimmy, don't worry about it, bro. We got you. You want to start week 1. Like, is that not what it feels like? I mean, I'm sorry. It's like if he was going to miss 4 or 5 weeks, maybe, but he's just going to miss 1 week. That's all I'm saying.
If that is what they're setting
saying,
it
makes
up,
a decision for them is what you're saying. Like,
it makes him look better. I'd be like,
right.
He's out with the injury. They're not just going with Jimmy G.
Right.
I think, if that is the case, then kudos to them for a chip in the finger. Like they could have just been like sore knee or like hurt ankle. Like he chipped his finger. Like kudos.
They need to have that man available for week 2. That's all I'm saying. They need him for week 2.
All right. I still would have gone the sore knee route, but hey, what I know. Can someone? This is our last housekeeping note. Can someone please tell me why we are still hearing trade rumors for Deshaun Watson?
I mean, listen, I'll just let me get in here real quick, and then I'll kick it to you Panther fans because this is your team. This is y'all boys doing all this, and listen, you take it away.
Luckily, Miami's the culprit now. Like, luckily, Carolina's kind of been like Miami's been the name that keeps coming up now.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't either.
He's just too toxic.
And too many question marks.
Who knows where these rumors are coming from? It could be his agent. It could be, you know what I mean? Like, it could be the Texans trying to just get some type of something going.
What do you
but
take for him
happening
at this point? Like, if you get that random phone call, what do you take for Watson right now?
If you're the Texans, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like whatever you can get, right? But like, I mean, they gotta release him. Like,
we'll give you Shaq Lawson in a 6th round.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's like they feel like there's value there, obviously, because I'm sure they've gotten some
kind
offers,
of offer.
right?
Well,
but
I mean, Matt, I don't think you could have put it better, bro. He's just too toxic right now because like. The only intriguing thing about this while we're even talking about it is because y'all all saw what that man put on tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only reason why we're talking about this.
Yeah.
So he has to be worth something. I think like Matt and Drew, y'all hit on it. It's just going to come down to what happens off the field stuff.
It's got to get settled before he gets moved. It's got to be.
But like y'all said the leading candidate was Miami. We saw that come across the wire. I'll kick it to y'all on this. If you're Tua Tagovailoa, how are you feeling right now? How are you?
Bad. We'll even take Deshaun if it gets Tua out here. I mean,
personally, I think he deserves another chance as a starter. I mean, he's a young quarterback, and he didn't completely bust it. Like he wasn't. He didn't. I don't know. Like I don't know why everyone was harsh on him or why they're not sold on him. I mean, maybe they see stuff that we don't. But like I thought he looked all right as a starter, and he did. I mean, obviously he was a star in college, and he's got intangible things and the tangible qualities that you want. But he's healthy. Let him get back in the groove. Let him play a little more. Give him say, he's your starter. Give him the confidence and see where it goes. And then if it doesn't work out, then you can look at options,
Yeah, because I mean, they got Fitzmagic's out of town. You know what I mean? So they did that for him, for his confidence. Yeah. Me, I am not a Tua believer. I don't think this man's ever going to make it to be a consistent starter in the NFL. I just don't see it. Yeah. But the worst thing you can do for this second-year player is constantly have your name come up is we need a new quarterback. We want a new quarterback. Hey, what's that quarterback doing? Hey, how much for that guy?
Yeah. I mean, they're dabbling a little bit too much. Matt, how about you, man? Like, if your team right now, Are you taking Tua or are you riding with Sam Darnold? Who would you rather have?
That's tough, bro. I don't know.
I'm going Darnold all day.
Are you going Darnold because he's in the fold already? Well, no, you're not a believer. I got you.
I just don't like Tua. Yeah, I don't like Tua.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Tua intrigues me, because I like the mobility and, I like that type of quarterback, but neither of them have shown that they can be a real starter in the league.
Is C none of the above there? Yeah.
Right.
But we've probably seen less of Tua, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We've seen plenty of Darnold.
I did like what he showed us this last preseason game. He clicked.
He
with
looked
the
great.
offense.
I was really happy with that. I don't know if you want to save that for later. We're going to talk about that type of stuff. But
yeah, because I got.
But
some
if we want to talk about it, I think Darnold looked amazing. He's not an MVP candidate, but I think he could make some noise this year and lead us to some wins. I think he's a big upgrade over Bridgewater just from that little bit that we saw.
I definitely will give y'all. I did catch a portion of that preseason game, and Panthers, they whooped up on them boys. Like, it was a throttling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it felt good. Felt good to see that before the season started. You know what I mean?
Bet. Yeah. I bet.
I think they had a lot of backups in there. Let's be honest, but
they did. But it still felt good. It still felt good. Okay,
can we have that? Good. And yeah, I mean, hey, I'm right there with you, man. I just like
you're the realist of the group. I get it. I completely.
I think we'll talk about playoff predictions later.
We're actually getting into it next. Yeah, let's go ahead and kick it into
it.
Right, y'all want to start NFC or AFC?
Ooh, which okay. I mean, I think like for me, and y'all could tell what y'all got, but like it's a little bit more juicy for me in the AFC. Actually, it's all juicy. I'm be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
All right.
Well, let's kick it in the NFC first. All right. My number seven seed in the NFC. It's some Carolina Panthers.
Oh.
Number 7 seed sneaking in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm rolling with it. I gave them a great record when we did our preview show of the NFC South. I think they're going to surprise some people, and I made that prediction before I saw Sam Darnold in that third preseason game, and that is all the confirmation I needed that we're gonna win some games this year.
All right, okay. Well, we'll save our illustrious guest for last. My 7th seed is not the Panthers; it is the LA Rams.
7 seed.
7 seed.
Okay.
7 seed. Okay. I got the Rams going 10-7.
Okay.
Getting into the playoffs with 10 wins.
Oh, you got higher expectations for the NFC than I do. I got 10-7. Get you a little bit higher, but okay. All right.
Oh man.
Well, okay. All right. What do you think about that, Matt? What do you think with the Rams at 7 and I got Carolina at 7?
I think Drew, you're on it. I think
confidence.
I'm not gonna say. I just think we sneak in there with like a winning record. I think we just eke in there. We're not ready quite for prime time, but I think we're gonna. We were competitive last year. Really, the only team that blew us out were the Bucks. Every other game, and even the first game with the Bucks, Shawn doesn't like to admit this. It was a 1 possession game going down to the fourth quarter till I think Fournette busted the long one and put it away. But the second game was just no contest. But
I was watching the highlights today. Y'all were leading 17-10 in the second game. Y'all were leading in that game.
Yeah.
And that was without McCaffrey, man. And McCaffrey's back. I think he's gonna have a big year, which is just
I'm
obvious.
so excited about Marshall too. Marshall's gonna be a beast.
We'll talk more about Marshall later. I got him fantasy notes, but yeah, I think in the Rams, like they're gonna be in the playoff, Shawn. But I think they're much higher than a 7 seed.
I'm so intrigued to hear the rest of your numbers. With you starting off with the Rams at 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, I mean
Well, number 6, I got the San Francisco 49ers. I think Garoppolo plays. I think this defense is good with all the people they get back healthy. I think they got like 17 running backs that can all just take turns, just beating up on people. I got San Francisco with that. I got Arizona, the odd man out in NFL in the NFC West. Like I had Arizona and Dallas like right there on the cuff with just one NFC East team making it in. I got San Fran at number 6.
All right. Well, your man has the number 6 seed. Rejoice down there in Texas, man. Cowboys, y'all getting in the number 6 seed. Dak Prescott back full year, getting in at 11-6. 11-6 for the Cowboys.
11-6 for the Cowboys. I think I had them closer to 500, but yeah.
I think the defense is marginally better, and like with that kind of offense, all they need is the defense to be fine. They don't need it to be great. They just need it to be fine. And
I'm not quite sure Elliott bounces back though. That's my only problem with Dallas.
I doubted Zeke for way too long, and the year that I finally didn't doubt Zeke was last year when I had him on my fantasy squad as my first pick, and he shit the bed. So Slim Zeke, I don't know. I'm kind of in on Slim Zeke. Him and Dak. Zeke kind of seemed to check out when Dak went out. Like, and there might just be something there that we can't quantify. But if Dak plays a whole year, I think Zeke benefits, and they're trying to get that offensive line healthy. And they're trying to get back.
Still think
that gives
Pollard's
Dallas
better.
A little bit of a resurgence. I do.
Pollard's better running back.
Yeah, I got the Niners. I don't have them in my playoffs. I don't think they're that good. I think there's going to be a lot of controversy with the quarterback. I just don't see it. That's my personal opinion. And I got the Cowboys winning the NFC, I believe.
Ooh, okay. All right. Do you have anybody else from the East making it?
Is like,
do you have Washington making it?
I don't. Okay. Sorry, Ron.
Okay. All right. Well, switching up to you, who you got at number 5?
At number 5, your boy has the Seattle Seahawks, man. Like, talk about a team that, like, I have them going 12-5, but like you talked about turmoil with the 49ers. No team has had a weirder offseason except for the Texans than the Seattle Seahawks.
They calmed it down. It was
with that quarterback situation. Like Russ was talking, he wasn't talking. He was walking it back. Like I really think that there might be something there, especially if they don't go 12-5 and they start losing games. It could snowball to me. Like that seems like a boiling pot, man. But in this scenario, I think they can get it done because for as much of a whack quarterback, not a quarterback, but it just seems to be a whack dude, Russell Wilson is, he can play football, man. So 12-5, they getting in at the 5 seed. Drew, what about you?
I also have the Seattle Seahawks at number 5.
Yeah.
So, yes, while I do have the Niners making it in the playoffs, I do have them as the worst team to come out of the West. So, as you can see, I do have 3 teams coming out of the West, with the Niners being the worst of the 3.
Yeah.
I hate to be boring, but I agree. I think with both of you guys, I think that's a good spot for them. They're consistent, like they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna, even if they struggle, I think they struggled for a bit last year, and then they just finished really strong and ended up. Right. I mean, that's just they're just good. I mean, Russell Wilson is a great player, Hall of Famer. Just I never liked the kid. I remember. I think correct me if I'm wrong. I think his first collegiate start was against ECU.
Oh man,
and
might be right.
He tore us up, and ever since then, I hated that kid. Only to see him blast off into a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
But he just does it, man. He just does his thing. Doesn't matter. I think you could put any roster around him. He'll find.
Let Russ
DK
cook,
Metcalf.
Man.
Come on, he's a great. He's got a weapon, big time weapon there. Like the defense will be the defense, and they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, I just put together who Shawn has winning the NFC West now, and I am tickled pink.
Yeah. I mean, process of elimination.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll get into my 4 seed, who we talked about
Division
this
champs.
already, but division champs. We're getting into the division champs now with the 4 seed, the worst of the division winners. But process of elimination, Washington football team, year number 2.
I got them there
winning
too.
this division.
That's my number 4. Yeah, winning the NFC
division.
East. This defense is just, I'm salivating at how good this defense can be.
Yes. And I think we talked about this before, Drew, but like Fitzpatrick, barring anything unforeseen, should get a full year.
He'll fall apart, but they'll compensate for it.
Right. With that defense, he doesn't need to do too much. And y'all boys can talk to this more than I can, but Ron Rivera right now has the recipe to make a playoff run. He's got a defense. He's got an innovative running game. He's got capable rushers, and he has a quarterback and some receivers who can get the job done.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Drew, who you got, bro?
At number 3, I got the NFC West champion, LA Rams. They're going to win that division, man. Matt Stafford's going to ball out. Cooper Kupp's going to have a killer year. Woods is going to go off. That defense is going to eat too. Like, it's going to be – they're going to pull some fans away from the Chargers this year. They're going to be like, notice us.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I think my issue with the Rams is, for as much as I do like Matt Stafford, and like we love Matt Stafford on this show, I guess like I'm not super high on Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp. And like the problem is like their numbers suggest that they are actually very good.
But he's got Jefferson. He's got Higbee.
Van Jefferson. I love Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Higbee, whatever, he's kind of been a guy, Johnny come lately, but I don't know, man. Cooper Kupp, while he is a very good receiver, I don't think of him as elite. I definitely don't think of Robert Woods as elite. And like on pretty much every other squad that we have, you have elite talent at the receiver position. For most of the other top tier teams in the league. And if they want to be that, I think you need that guy, and they don't have him, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm more in the Drew camp on this one. I think the Rams are going to be one of those surprise teams. That was not really a surprise, but I think they might dominate this year, especially with the defense obviously leading the way. But Sean McVay, give him a real quarterback, a savvy veteran who can still play, and let's see what he can do. I'm intrigued. I think they're a team to watch out for.
Who's your third seed?
The Green Bay Packers as my third seed.
Falling to third. Okay. All right. Okay.
12-5 for the Packers. I think
you got high expectations of this team, this NFC West team, don't you?
Listen. They were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, how quickly we forget. Like, they were just in the Super Bowl. So they're still in that window. And I'm a big proponent of coaching, but let's talk about this other team first.
Yeah, let's talk about Green Bay.
Packers.
Mr. Rodgers, his farewell tour.
I think the turmoil of the offseason loses them maybe 1 to 2 games. Like, and for no,
I think it wins them an extra 1 or 2 games.
Right. But like, I just think they take a little bit of a step back, and they're not getting, 13, 14 wins, but 12-5 good enough to, host a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still a great season. They have everybody back for the most part. They have good weapons. They got Aaron Rodgers. Like, Gutekunst just has to not F it up.
All right. Well, who do you got at number 2?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. This team we alluded to before, I'm a very big proponent of their coach. Honestly, he's probably one of the top 3-4 coaches in the league. I got the San Francisco 49ers, man. I got the 49ers. Their offense, like, for as innovative as Sean McVay is and has been, Shanahan's better. Like, Shanahan is better. And I think even though they
tomato, but okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying? But like, we just talked about how I don't think the Rams have elite receivers. I honestly don't think that Brandon Ayuk's my guy. But I really think the scheme is what puts San Francisco over the top. If they can stay healthy with that resurgent defense, they get Bosa back, they get those guys on the defensive line. The linebackers are back. The secondary's, pretty damn good. I think they get some 12, but I also have them going 12-5. So
yeah, okay.
It's just
who's the quarterback, Sean? Who's the quarterback for that team?
To be honest with you, man, I think
it doesn't matter. Is that what you're gonna say?
I do think put it this way. I actually think that Jimmy G either plays a full year, but even if he doesn't, they will still get into the playoffs with Trey Lance. I think I was not a believer of Trey Lance, and then I saw the dude play in the NFL. And he hasn't blown it out this season, but he's way better than I gave him credit for coming out. I put it this way now, I liked Carson Wentz's tape coming out of North Dakota State. I did not like Trey Lance's. He didn't show enough for me in his tape. They know they know what they're doing, man. And I believe in Shanahan. I think Trey Lance can come in and ball.
Okay. Well, at number 2, I got your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh. Okay.
I think I got Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got a bye, got missing the bye by that much.
I think that's a good spot for Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Well, without further ado, I think we both know what's about to come out of our mouths next with our regular season NFC champion, and I'm going with the farewell tour, man. I think Mr. Rogers' neighborhood reigns supreme. I think my man is going to come out motivated. I think he's going to be chucking the ball. I think Adams wants out after this year too, so I think he's going to showcase what he can do for other teams that might trade for him. I think this offense is going to be just chopping it up. I got the Green Bay Packers, number 1.
I definitely think, they'll be good. They're getting to the playoffs. I sort of wholeheartedly agree with you. I don't think there's any reason why Aaron Rodgers is going to take any steps back this year. He's got a fire under his ass, and I think he lights it up. It's their defense for me, and I'm not talking about the secondary. Put it that way. I don't know. I think it kind of gets let down. I think they lose a game they shouldn't. Fingers maybe get pointed for a week or two, and then they're right back at it. So
okay. Well, who you got winning the NFC? Huh?
Goddamn right I do. You see it right in the back, baby. Number 1 seed, Tom Brady, coming out 2021 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How many games?
14-3.
14-3. Okay.
14-3. Weirdly enough, I actually do I went through the schedule. I do have them losing to the Rams, so I'm going to be very sad that day. But
that's going to be a great game.
Lose that game. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Week 3. Right. But 14-3 for the boys, man. 14-3. Right. I don't see any reason why this team should be stopped.
Matt, any final thoughts before we move on to the AFC?
I think those are both great picks. I think it's a coin flip. I think the Rams, like I've been talking this whole podcast, I think the Rams might sneak up in there, but yeah, I think those are both top picks. That's the reason Sean has me on the podcast, just so I have to come on and get me on tape admitting that the Bucks are actually good. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason he wanted me here. But yeah, there's no reason why they shouldn't.
Sir.
Well, okay.
There's no reason why they shouldn't get back to the NFC Championship game, probably to the Super Bowl. Yeah, barring injury. They brought back everybody. It was a damn good team, man. I just hope Father Time catches up to Brady. That's all I can say. Other than that, even if it does, they still got that defense, man. And I hate to see it, but it's a good team.
Both of y'all, real quick, who do y'all have just off the top of your head, NFC Championship game? I got Packers, Bucks.
I think just Packers, Bucks. I got it. Yeah, Packers, Bucks.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Okay. Watch, it's gonna be the Rams.
No, I thought about it, but yeah, those are just the 2 best teams right now, man, and maybe in the whole league.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's get to the AFC. Sean, who is your number 7 seed in the AFC?
Number 7 team at in the AFC at 12-5. I have the
12
Baltimore
and 5.
Ravens. 12-5. I got the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Well, I got a trifecta of teams that are all going to be 9 and 8. I got I got the Steelers, the Colts, and the Los Angeles Chargers, who is my number 7 seed.
Oh, wow.
The Chargers squeaking in her Bears' second year. I like it, and I think it's a down year for the AFC total. So I got the why not have an upstart team like the Chargers sneak in?
And
I have them in my playoff.
You got the Chargers in your playoff? I'm not that high on them, man. I love her bear. I love her bear.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like, Drew, we talked about this before, bro. For as high as I am on the Chargers, have you seen their schedule? Like, I'm sorry.
That's why I got them 9 and 8. That's why I got them 9 and 8.
True. That's very true. Drew, I mean, you like in that scenario, you said you're down on the AFC as a whole. I am not. Clearly.
Okay. Yeah, right. 12-5. God.
Yeah. Top heavy. Right. Top heavy.
Okay. Well, who you got at number 6?
Number 6, a team that I definitely think is kind of getting more near and dear to my heart. The Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
12-5.
Yeah, that means you got somebody else winning that division. That's
those are my division. That's my division winner.
Yeah.
In the South.
Yeah.
At number 6, I got the Patriots. New England's gonna get back there because its defense is stout again.
There it is.
Who you got as the last wild card in the AFC? Number 5.
Last wild card, I got your boy Belichick getting back in. The Patriots.
Oh, you got him at Patriots. 5. Okay.
Yeah, number 5 seed coming back with that defense. I believe in the system. Listen, Patriots coming back up 12-5.
They spent too much money. You know what I mean? They spent too much money. But I got Baltimore Ravens at number 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I think even though the injury bug hit them hard, I think they found a way to get into the playoffs.
Okay. So you want me to go 4?
Yeah. What division champ you got coming up first?
Listen, I'm listening to y'all boys, man. A little skeptical on this pick, talking about and then Carson Wentz getting COVID, but goddamn them Colts. Y'all need to make me look good.
You love those Colts, man.
Listen, man. But
for the second year in a row, you're picking them to win the division. I just want you to know that.
But all I'm saying, though, is I wasn't very far off last year with Phillip Rivers.
You weren't.
You know what I'm saying?
Phillip coaching high school football now, though.
And he winning games. Shout to Phil. You know what I'm saying?
Let me put this out there. I think Wentz is literally the exact opposite of Phillip Rivers. One of the most consistent play ever, like an Iron Man quarterback, and it just made of steel, comes out there and just gives it to you every single week. Wentz is the exact opposite of that. I don't have the Colts in the playoffs.
So this is what I'm saying. Like for me, just to give a quick synopsis of why I have them going so high. Like they just did it last year. It wasn't like they weren't in the playoffs last year. You're building on that. You're getting a guy who knows Frank Reich's system in the building. They're getting better. Kwity Paye, honestly, talking about the awards, hard time not giving that dude Defensive Rookie of the Year looks. I think Kwity Paye, he's already shown it. So you know what I'm saying? Like they're adding to the defense. The receivers, especially if T.Y. can get healthy, if they get what they want on paper, and Carson Wentz doesn't mess it up, I think they give you.
He's gonna mess it up. He's gonna mess it up.
That's the thing. So
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I got my first division champion in that same division, but I got the Titans taking it home.
Yeah.
Julio coming in. Browns, I think, is gonna have a great year. I don't think Henry has 2,000 yards again, but I mean he might come close. All right. Well, who you got at number 3?
Number 3, a team that y'all all know I love, the Cleveland Browns.
We might have the same top 3 because I got the Cleveland Browns too at number 3. Winning their division. Baby. Baker's going to be wheeling and dealing, looking for that new contract. OBJ's coming back and he's going to keep his mouth shut and he's just going to ball.
Listen. I don't know about y'all. Did y'all see the highlights of the Browns game? Baker was throwing dots out there.
He
Okay,
said,
that
"Pay
man
me."
was slinging that rock. I'm sorry, because I saw the backup. When the backup came in, it was not the same zip on the ball. I don't know if he's stoned for that contract, like you said, Drew. I mean, Baker.
We've seen it too
Baker's
much,
serious.
man. We've seen it too much.
It's the mustache. It's the mustache.
It's his power.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I like the Browns. They're up there. I think sleeper maybe to make it to the Super Bowl. I think everyone would like to see that, right? I mean,
right? You can't be mad at that.
Who's rooting against the Browns unless you're like a Steelers fan or something? I don't know. And even then, it's just like, I mean, they're fun to watch. You know, like Mayfield's got the juice, man. He's a baller. He's fun to watch, and that offense can Chubb and what's the other back? I had him on fantasy Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
Sorry, yeah.
Kareem Hunt, yeah.
I don't know why I forgot him because I wrote him pretty well into the championship, obviously last year. That's a two-headed monster. They're fun to watch, man.
It is.
Yeah. Well, at number 2, I got the old Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East.
Buffalo Bills.
And I got them barely missing out to the Chiefs. Got to give the Chiefs number 1 till proven wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
I mean, maybe
I could see him flip flop. I could definitely see him flip flop. I can see Cleveland at the number 1 spot, to be honest with you.
I can. And
those 3 teams are all easy to root for too. I think they're all fun to watch. They're all like kind of.
There's not the villains anymore. There's not the villain Steelers or the villain Patriots.
We're all like NFC people, and so I hate all the NFC teams. But it's like I don't have as many AFC teams that I hate. Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like I like all those teams. You know, like Shawn, you might have feel some type of way about the Chiefs because y'all are kind of going back and forth.
I'm not really here for Mahomes anymore. I'm really not here for Mahomes.
Right. Love that dude.
He's been on my TV too much.
Good.
And
don't draft him.
I don't know. Like it pleasured my soul when we ran roughshod over that man in the Super Bowl.
My wife's gonna kill you.
We put a hurting on that boy.
My wife's gonna kill you.
So I love to see it.
All right. Well, real quick. So who y'all got in the AFC Championship game? I got Kansas City, Cleveland. I want to see it. That amazing anything is possible game they gave us last year. I want them to run it back. I want to see a great Buffalo Cleveland game in the semifinals, but I want to see Cleveland.
I got Bills and Browns. I want Bills and Browns, but like right now, Bills and Browns.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Bills and the Chiefs.
We got different. That's good. I like it. Well, real quick, Super Bowl matchup. I got the Chiefs versus Packers.
I got the Bucks and the Bills.
Ooh, that hurt you to say that. I saw it in your face. That hurt you to say that.
Yeah, it's just hard to bet against the Chiefs. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you just bet against your Browns too.
The idea, right? Exactly. Ideal Super Bowl for me: Bucks and Browns.
Oh, who do you pull for that?
Be fun to watch.
I'm just messing with you. Who you got, Matt?
I'm gonna go Bills and Bucks.
Let it come off your lips.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't say it.
I'm trying to be objective. You know, I'm respecting y'all's podcast.
Right,
you know, and taking it
but
seriously.
You can be selfish if you want to.
Yeah, I'm just saying the Bucks are the best team. They're the champs until something happens. You know, like somebody runs over Tom Brady on the way to the stadium.
Still hard,
but they still got that defense though. Like honestly, it's the defense that does it for me because I do think that Tom might take a step back this year.
That defense will just
it's all it takes is like an injury or something on the offensive line, and he's running for his life and throwing picks. We saw it a little bit last year. Well, getting tackled,
right? Yeah.
Trying to run. But you know what I mean? Like you shake up Brady a little bit. It's not that he's going to make terrible mistakes, but you've seen him get frustrated, have to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
But that defense is there going to be there to pick him up. So. And they just got a better defense than the Packers. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's Packers and Bills, and I want the Bills to win it. But I don't know. It's the Bucks are just the best team in the NFC right now.
I'm banking solely on Aaron Rodgers willing his way into this.
And that's what it would take, I think, is he would just have to will them over the Bucks. He could do it, but
bro, I mean, like, how quickly we forget that Tom Brady threw 3 picks in that game, and the Packers had every chance to win it, and they didn't do it.
You're right, but that's that's last year, man. We're not talking about that no more. We're talking about 20, 21, 22. Okay. All right. All right. Well, who y'all got as your comeback player of the year?
I think in this scenario, it's pretty clear. Can he stay healthy? Can he thrive in that system? I'm going to go with the boy Carson Wentz, bro. I'm going to go with Carson Wentz.
Oh, dude. Come on, man. The obvious choice here is a man who has not been given a chance the first 3 years of his career. And he comes into a new setting with an exciting new offensive coordinator and a healthy running back. It's Sam Darnold of the Carolina Panthers, with the comeback player of the year.
You're close, Drew. You're close, but I think it's Christian McCaffrey, right? I mean,
okay, all right.
Okay. I mean,
I just got hyped on my quarterback there for a second.
Most of the year last year, I mean, come on, he could go 1,000 again. You know, like it's pretty obvious. But sleeper, I think, would be Dak Prescott. I think he's, you know, trying to prove people wrong. You know, like he was out all year last year. All eyes are on the Cowboys. If they have a good year, you know, he throws for 30 TDs and 15 interceptions, and they make the playoffs, he's got a shot just based on media attention alone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I just err on the side of quarterbacks. And
I mean, they love quarterbacks. If you're hurt and you stay healthy, they almost just want to give it to you. You know what I mean? Like, But I don't think Carson Wentz is going to stay healthy enough.
Yeah, good picks by you, Matt, on that one. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
All right, coach of the year. I am banking on this guy being consistent again, and he should have won it last year, but I got Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. Should have been Bruce Arians last year, but nobody's talking about that. I've got Bill Belichick coming back, getting coach of the year, because he didn't make the playoffs last year. Bill Belichick does not buy free agents, okay? Like, if they make the playoffs this year, Bill Belichick is getting coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think he has a good shot to do that.
All right. I like that pick.
Have a resurgent year. Yeah.
And I can see that happening because I'm sure they're dying to give him that award too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think those are both good picks. I think the more likely one would, I think the Bills, if they're like the number 1 seed, I think you give it to McDermott. But yeah, I mean, you're right, Sean. That's a good sleeper pick there. If Bill can get that team into the playoffs, I think, you know, it's a good storyline.
What about your defensive rookie of the year? Matt, we'll start with you this time.
I'm going to go Parsons.
That's what I went with. I went with Micah Parsons. I think he's a beast. He's just a beast.
He's a beast. He's going to get over 100 tackles, you know, sprinkle in a couple
fumbles.
Interceptions, force fumble, a couple sacks.
Yep.
And, you know, and then the Cowboys get all the TV time, and it'll just, I think it's an easy pick. I think Surtain, I think, actually might sneak up, and I don't know. He's just something sneaky about him. Like when I see like the highlights,
he comes out of nowhere, man. Like you don't see him, and you're like, wait, what? Like watching the game, you don't even see him jump in the routes. You're like, wait, what?
Man,
you know, I'm hoping our boy Horn, you know, comes in, steps up, and wins it. If he gets, you know, 5-6 picks, maybe, you know. But I think that's what it's going to take to really get your name out there as a DB, to get high picks, which is tough, you know.
Yes,
I definitely think that Parsons is a good pick. Obviously, like Cowboys, yes, if he balls, that's a good pick. Honestly, like I like Surtain. I told y'all I like Kwity Paye. I think he is a good candidate. Who else was I thinking of? Oh, if this guy gets a lot of playing time, and I just need to mention his name, but Drew, our boy Asante Samuel Jr. has been balling in camp. He has been balling. But I don't know that he's going to get the time. I hate to hit y'all with the homer pick, but nobody seems to be mentioning this dude's name. And I don't know why, in limited capacity, Joe Tryon Shoyinka, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Did you say Kyle Trask?
It is coming.
Who'd you say?
It is coming. It is coming.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
This man in limited playing time already 2 sacks in the preseason. I mean, should have had 3 already.
What about on the offensive side, your offensive rookie of the year? Shawn, what about you?
I've got the boy Justin Fields, man. I've got Justin Fields. I think he starts sooner rather than later, and because there's a bias toward quarterbacks, I think he's going to get the most opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last year. You know, like
Right.
that wide receiver for the Minnesota, like Jefferson, put up those insane numbers, and they still gave it to a quarterback. Don't get me wrong, Herbert had a fantastic year, but
Herbert
saw what someone else can do and still not get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just like Justin Fields. I think out of all the rookie quarterbacks, he'll wind up having the best team, even if they don't win a lot of games. You know, they might win 5-6 games, but I think he gets some offensive rookie of the year.
I like it. What about you, Matt?
I got Zach Wilson.
Dude, you're in my head. I got Zach Wilson. I think it's a Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert situation.
You guys got to remember, please give me props. I was telling y'all about Zach Wilson midway through college, and I was like, yo, this is who the Panthers need to pick. And y'all were like, I don't know. Sean was like, he's trash, bro. But like,
nah, I was high on Zach Wilson. What are you talking about?
One of you guys were kind of like,
we might need to pull up the receipts, but your boy was the Zach Wilson guy.
It was, and that's not the only reason. I just like I saw some of his preseason, and he just looks like he's got that moxie. You know, he's like mobile on his feet. He threw that one ball like on the run.
Yeah,
just like zipped it right to like.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, man. He just like, you know, and he's gonna have to move around a little bit behind that offensive line. Yeah. But yeah, he's gonna get all the opportunities. He's the starter week 1. He's gonna put up some numbers. You know, like he's plays for a bad team, but I think we're gonna see some good numbers for him. I think.
I like it. That's why I think Corey Davis might be a little pickup on wide receiver front. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good thing.
What about
what we doing up next?
Let's do defensive player of the year.
All right. Me go first.
I'll go first this time. I'm going Jair Alexander from the Green Bay Packers. I think if they win the NFC and my man balls out, gets a few picks, you know, plays like he could, I think I don't think they're going to give it to a defensive back, but I think he's going to be the best defensive player that we see this year.
I think the league it's kind of the LeBron James treatment. So they don't give it to Aaron Donald, and they give it to the guy who probably should have won it last year, barring injury, TJ Watt.
I wanted to pick Watt, but I didn't because I knew you were going to pick TJ Watt.
TJ Watt I think he goes God mode this year.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I could see that. I think I'm going to go Myles Garrett out of Cleveland. I think there's going to be a big spotlight on that team, and he's going to be the best player on the defense and well above, 10 sacks. I mean, I don't know where it's going to be. I mean, I'd say like 15, 16 maybe. Forced fumbles, a couple splash plays, maybe like a scoop and score, 1 or 2 of those, and you're in elite company there. I think TJ Watt's another good pick. That was my second. I was back and forth on those 2.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, offensive player of the year. What you got? Shawn, you go first.
I got Aaron.
Aaron.
I got Aaron. Not getting MVP. Getting offensive player of the year as a caveat because he does not win the Super Bowl. That's why. That's usually what happens to the offensive player of the year. It's usually a quarterback who doesn't win the Super Bowl, and that's Aaron. Take that and go to another team.
I got that same philosophy, but I got Matt Stafford with the Rams.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he has a great year, just not MVP caliber. I mean caliber, but they just don't pick him as MVP.
Right. I can see that.
Matt, what you got?
I'm going to go Derrick Henry. I just think that's a safe pick. I mean, I don't know if he's going to go 2,000 plus again. That's crazy, but I mean, we could do 1,700 yards, 20 TDs, sprinkling some receiving in there. I think he's just a beast. Nobody and I think also Julio being on that offense helps him. It takes away a little bit, but also I think just there's no way they can pack the box now with those receivers on the outside. I mean, he's going to be running crazy.
Right.
And that's a good team, especially we've talked about, obviously, when your team's ahead, winning games and late in the quarter and you got a physical back like that. I mean, you got opportunities to break away big, long scores, when teams are wearing down and you're just pounding the rock. I mean, he's going to put up numbers again.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
like it. All right. Well, MVP, I think it's going to be like every other year kind of thing. I got Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes winning the MVP.
Yep. Patty.
What you got, Matt?
I got Josh Allen.
Oh, I was wondering if we're going to pick him.
Bills are going to be the number 1 seed. He's going to lead the way, obviously. I could see maybe Mahomes having slightly better numbers because, he just does that. But I think, with the better, they'll have a better record. I don't know if they go head to head this year. I'm not really up on the schedule, but
they play.
I was gonna say I think that they do. And if Josh wins that game, head to head and puts up good numbers, and if they have that number 1 seed, I think the Bills could have the best record in the league, and obviously give it to the quarterback. You got a good shot at winning MVP.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, that's our season predictions, our award predictions. All right. Well, one more segment before we get out of here. We got some fantasy advice for you. Not from us. We already have told you our credentials, but we brought in our champ, Mr. Matt Simon, to give us what do you say? We do 5 sleepers and then maybe 5 players to avoid. Which list do you want to do first?
Let's do the sleepers first.
Okay. All right. Take it away, sir.
All right. So my first sleeper, we talked about him briefly in the beginning. Terence Marshall, wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers.
My man's going to go off.
He looks great. I mean, we got, some other wide receivers starting ahead of him, but, I'm talking, when I say sleeper, I mean somebody who this is might be on the waiver wire. I don't know if he's getting drafted or not. I don't know, but just somebody to keep an eye out for. I think he's going to creep up to maybe 7, 8 TDs this year.
Yeah.
Just because the attention is going to be elsewhere, and I just he's got it. I think he has.
I'll take him in the 13th or 14th.
He's a big target.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where he's getting drafted, but
I definitely getting a lot of volume in training camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's getting. There's every other day on social media, he catches the ball high. He's a big guy. He goes up and gets it. He's bullying DBs already. I think he's gonna by the end of the year he's gonna be tough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a sleeper for sure.
All right, who you got at number 2?
We're gonna go Carolina Panthers again. Tight end Dan Arnold.
Darnold to Arnold
is Darnold to Arnold connection. Watch out. He's had 6 TDs, 7 TDs for the Cardinals last year. Big red zone threat. I think, with Darnold and Arnold had a little chemistry, there was a little, meme going back and forth with Carolina Panther fans. Everyone likes saying that. I think he's just somebody, you're not gonna. I wouldn't draft him. Maybe, but
pick him up when you got to buy.
Yeah, pick him up when you got to buy. Watch the waiver wire. If he starts grabbing TDs, snag him off the waiver wire. Or if you're sitting there late in the draft and you realize I need a backup tight end, I'd take a flyer on. If there's just I don't even know who to draft right here. Just pick him up because he's got big upside.
Okay. Who else you got?
All right. My third sleeper is the Panthers defense.
Oh my God, this guy.
You see how this feels, Sean? I've been dealing with this for 17 episodes this season.
The Panthers
so far.
Defense, I would say, they might
brought
not
him
be
on.
like
a
top, 2-3 defense off the board, but there's going to be getting a lot of sacks. A lot of sacks this year. We brought over some players from. Right we brought,
I love Brian Burns. I love Brian
Brian
Burns.
Burns is a big year this year for Brian Burns. Jeremy Chin, we got Horn now. They're going to get some coverage sacks. Now that we have a decent secondary. Jackson's been playing pretty well. He's healthy. He was hurt last year for a lot of the year. So secondary is looking tough. Linebacker's a little bit of a question mark, I'll admit. But that D-line
not on the team though.
Derek Brown is a beast in the middle. No one talks about him, but he's a beast.
Derek Brown has left a lot to be desired thus far.
Dude, watch the tape. I'm telling you, he's not getting
a quiet
sacked,
assassin.
He's taking up blockers. We got Fox that came over from the Rams. I think he had quite 4 or 5 sacks last year in limited playing time. I think he picked up the starting role over Gross Matos, I think. So we got him coming off the bench. And then Reddick coming over from the Cardinals had a big year last year. Going to play some outside linebacker for us and get the quarterback.
Intercepted I think we're your boy Huntley.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think we could be one of the top sack teams this year. I think, and that'll cause some turnovers, hopefully some scores, and it's a nice sleeper pick.
All right. At number 4, which Carolina Panther do you have?
DJ Moore.
Are you serious?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even mean to set it up.
Oh my god!
Listen to me.
Our king has gone mad.
Sell it.
People, all right. Look, so people. I mean, he's not like people know who DJ Moore is. He's. I wouldn't say he's a household name, but people know who he is now. But he should be going a lot higher in these drafts. I'm telling you, him and Darnold have a connection. He's taken another step this year. I mean, limited playing time. He was, I think, what did he have? 4 catches for 60-something yards in the first quarter of the preseason game. I mean, he gets what he wants. He's physical at the line of scrimmage. He's figuring it out. I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the probably top 5 receivers this year. And there's enough around him to keep teams from focusing on him. And he will be the number 1 wide receiver, but there's enough there that it's and we'll get to somebody later who I think is in the opposite position, where there's enough around him, even though he's the number 1 guy, he's going to be getting plenty of balls thrown his way, and I think he's a good pick.
And
where he's going, I think you can sneak up and grab him.
Number 5, Carolina Panthers.
Darnold.
No, are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
Oh my God, this guy.
Look,
Sam
Darnold.
Yes.
Okay.
On your bench, backup quarterback will be. You will thank me later. Bye week quarterback. Snag him. I'm telling you, I think he's gonna have definitely 20, 30 TDs this year. Low interceptions, lots of yards, lots of weapons around him. CMC in the backfield. Not much attention on him. They're going to be stacking the box. He's going to put up numbers. I'm telling you, he's not going to be MVP, but he's a solid backup quarterback on your team.
I mean,
just watch the waiver wire. Watch the waiver wire.
I've been getting a lot of information and kind of seeing it through the grapevine, but Darnold been throwing them picks in training camp, man, from what I've been hearing. So, if he's not having a great training camp, I don't know that I can see.
I don't think that's true. Trust me. I've followed it really closely. From what there's been his picks are getting more attention.
Okay.
His picks are getting more attention than they should, just because they're looking for it. They're looking for him to throw picks, right? So when he throws one, it's because they know that the fan base is waiting to hear about Darnold fucking up. And from what from unbiased sources, people are like, look. It's not perfect. He's still learning, But I've seen quarterbacks look much worse than he has. And you saw him in live action. He looked pretty good out there.
He did last game. He looked good.
So, and I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I'm just saying it's somebody who you're in a bye week, you're in a tough situation. We're talking sleepers here. I'm not saying this is your starting quarterback. All right.
I love that all 5 of them were Carolina Panthers. Hopefully, none of the 5 to avoid are Carolina Panthers.
No.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, who do you got to avoid?
I'm just going to say any Patriot running back. Just stay away. I think we've all fallen into that
Harris
trap
last year.
where you pick up a Patriots running back and you're like, this guy had 2 TDs last week and he's going to do it again. No, he'll never do it again. He maybe, but that'll be after you drop him and pick up the other Patriots running back, and then that guy gets the TDs. Just stay away from Patriot running backs. Just unless you're just absolutely desperate.
Yeah.
Don't draft them.
No.
And if you have to pick up a one off the waiver wire, just pray that's the running back of the week that gets the TDs.
Yeah. That's fair. I second that.
Yeah.
Been burned. It's like you're going to tell us the 5 people to avoid, and me and Shawn are going to be like, yep.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys. All right. I'm here
I
don't want to see y'all at the bottom of the league. I want y'all. I want to be number 1. Y'all can be 2, 3, and then that'll be great.
Okay. If I make the playoffs, it's a successful season for me. Shit.
Yeah, right. Playoffs are bust for me this year.
Yeah.
All right. Who else you got to avoid?
Odell Beckham Jr. I'm gonna say stay away. I think the Browns are gonna have a great year. I just have a feeling it's just not working there. Like it's gonna be some drama. Like he's not getting the ball, and like I could just see him maybe missing a couple games with injury, just falling out of I don't feel like the connection's really as much as we all want to see that connection. I don't think it's really been fruitful, right, between him and Mayfield. Not that there's anything personal there, but I just don't see that connection yet. I would be wary of picking Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, if he's there, just sitting there,
what round would you take him? What's the highest round you'd take him?
I don't know, maybe 5th or 6th. I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It depends on what I have. If I'm lacking wide receivers, I might get desperate and snag them. But it's just not somebody I'm looking for when I'm drafting. And if he's sitting there and there's other names around him that I trust much higher than.
Let me ask you this: who has the better year, Odell or Julio?
Julio. Not even close. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
So Odell Beckham going to the Rams, they going to give up their 2030 first round pick to get Odell Beckham to the Rams.
Now,
can you imagine Stafford and OBJ in LA though?
They would do it.
That's what it would take though, and it's gonna be something weird like that's gonna happen. I feel like, and I don't know. It's just a gut feeling.
What a great team,
I hope
Shawn.
I'm wrong,
I hear you on that.
I do like watching him play. Obviously, we all do, and I respect him and all that. It just doesn't feel like it's working out in Cleveland. I just got a bad feeling about it.
It was just starting to click, and then he got hurt last year. So it did take him a while to get going last year. So I hear you on that. All right, who else should the fine folks avoid in fantasy this year?
Ridley in Atlanta, that I was kind of alluding to earlier with DJ Moore. I don't think there's enough around Ridley, despite Pitts being there, which is a solid pickup, and that's going to help. But I just think defenses are going to key on Ridley, and he's going to have a good year. He'll have over 1,000 yards. He'll have 8, 9 TDs, but I see him as high as the 4th receiver on the board. I don't think he's going to finish that high in fantasy points. Him and Moore kind of it's who's better, right? Because I think they're both drafted same year around the same time, and Ridley came out the gates hot, but I think Moore laps him this year. I think he's going to overtake him, and mostly I don't think that's due to skill. I think it's just that I don't think there's much around him in Atlanta. And I think Matt Ryan's not going to have a great year. I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. They'll all be fine, but As high as Ridley's being taken, I'd stay away.
Okay. Well,
I'm very in on watching the Carolina Panthers this year, just based on the last 10 minutes of this show. I am get that popcorn ready, baby.
Do you not agree? Do you not agree with my Ridley assessment? You think he's gonna
honestly,
break out?
Well, me and Drew talked about it before. They don't really have a lot, and I think teams are going to focus on it now. To Ridley's credit, I didn't think Julio was injured last year, and he balled. So They didn't have Pitts on that team last year. So he is a guy who might just be that good. And this preseason, he's actually looked pretty good too. And that's not with Matt Ryan throwing the ball. I don't think I've seen Matt Ryan in any highlight.
Why play the preseason at this point?
Right, exactly. So like I think he has a good year, but definitely not. They didn't know if Julio was going to be there or not. So, Matt, I think you're right. I think he definitely takes a step back.
They did not have. Did you see who their other wide receivers are? I had to Google them. I was like, I don't know
Russell
idea who
Gage.
these people are.
I didn't know who the hell Russell Gage was last year, and then he came out and I don't know how many touchdowns he had, but he had a good year as a number 3 wide receiver.
He had a good year, a good game against Carolina. So that's the only reason I know.
He steps into the number 2 role. So
they always have someone has a good game.
Right? Yeah. Atlanta's our kryptonite. All right, who else should the people avoid? Do you have any more how many more you got on the list?
Yep, I got 2 more.
Okay.
I got Gronk as another avoid. Do not draft Gronkowski. I think he's injury prone at this point in his career. I think he's lost a step. Yeah, he's gonna grab some TDs, but he's gonna let you down. He's gonna let you down some weeks. You're gonna have him runner up. He's gonna have you on that starting tight end. You're gonna be like, oh, look at I'm stacked. I got all these running backs. I got Gronk as my tight end. No, he'll grab some TDs, But there's some weeks where he's gonna go 2 catches for 25 yards, and that's I think there's just other tight ends out there that are gonna be more consistent. And just based on name, I think
I think tight end is down as a whole. Tight end's very down.
That's why I'm very intrigued to see if people grab tight ends early because of the limited number of them.
I think that's a good move. Honestly, I like that move because if you have one of those top tight ends, it's like having another wide receiver while everyone else is watching the waiver wire and they got someone who's putting up 4 or 5 points a game, and you got someone who's putting up 10, 12, 13, 15 consistently at the tight end position. That's a good move.
All right. Well, who's your last
one?
person?
Might surprise people. Yeah, this might surprise some people. Lamar Jackson.
As while we were talking testimonies, I'm personally going to stay away from him because I had him last year, and while he made my team okay, but not great.
I just when he's balling, he's balling. Obviously MVP caliber player. I would pick a different quarterback. It's just not there's gonna be some games where he's gonna let you down. He might break out, go for 100 yards and a rush TD on top of 150 passing and another TD.
That's what I'm saying. Is you get those games where he throws for 96 yards. You know what I mean? 96 yards, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Right. I mean, he'll have some big weeks. He's on a good team. He's a great player, but I think you're looking for some consistency in that quarterback position. You don't want a quarterback who's putting up single digits, having bad weeks. You got to get that 20 points a game every single week.
Yeah,
I'm a big. That's just to sneak in a couple little tips here. I really having one of those top quarterbacks, and I think a top tight end, and because you can find wide receivers later in the year that sneak up.
Running backs just always kill me, man.
After injuries that come up, if you're watching the waiver wire, you'll find those players that fill in those gaps. But if you have a really good, one of those top tight ends and one of those top quarterbacks, I mean, if you have a quarterback who's giving you 25 points a game every single week, that's just you can rest your hat on that and know that you're going to be competitive, and then pick up those wide receivers because the wide receiver depth is so much deeper than that top tier tight end, top tier quarterback. Once you get Rodgers off the board and those top guys,
Yeah.
you're gonna struggle.
Yeah, I can understand.
Consistency
that,
is key, I think.
Yeah,
indeed. That's my problem. Is
it's
I
a
can find a running back.
cliche. It's a cliche, but it's true. Like you want that consistency.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so
Nice.
much for joining us, Matt. We appreciate you. Shawn, where can they find you at?
Oh man, as always, at the Kid Suds on Twitter, at nickel_dom FB on Twitter as well, and at the illustrious at nickel_dom football on IG. Drew, what about you, bro?
Check out everything on drewharrisoncomedy.com. Hit me up on Instagram. I try to stay off of Facebook these days. Hit me up on Instagram.
It is
at Laugh with Harrison. Right. Just I like looking at dog pictures. You know what I mean? Like I don't like real stuff. I don't like the real world. I like football and dogs. Like let's just keep it that way. Okay.
Keep it wholesome. Hey, I want to thank y'all boys for having me on. You know,
of course.
I love chopping it up with y'all, you know, about whatever. And,
hey, the champ is here, man.
Talking sports is, yeah, I appreciate that, you know. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just love talking sports with you guys. And, you know,
well, we'll definitely have you back on.
A lot of male friendships are based on that. But, you know, and a lot of male tensions. Me and Shawn probably almost came to blows a couple times. Talking Madden. Bucks and Panthers.
Madden. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Watching y'all play video games is one of my favorite pastimes.
This is part of the thing is because we were doing those down years, so y'all know that's why I'm putting it in your face now.
Yeah,
that I'm a champion.
Where's our Super Bowl?
So many down years.
Yeah, whatever. Hit that subscribe.
You're loyal, Shawn. I'll give you that. You are a loyal fan.
Goddamn right.
Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week for week 1 of the NFL season.